Hello and welcome to another episode of Wedflics. I'm Julia Braime. I'm your host. I'm the editor of UNVEILED magazine and the founder and editor of Brides Up North, the top UK wedding blog for Northern couples. Today we are all singing, all dancing on the show with my friend Glen Roughead, who is coming to talk to us all about wedding music, right from walking down the aisle through to your first dance and beyond. He's going to sing us a few songs, crack a few jokes, and we just have a laugh in this one. He is my real friend in real life too. So it was a fun one to film, and I hope you all enjoy it too. So hello, Glen Roughead.
Hello, how are you? You look very sort of bright and glamorous with your flowers, and look what I've got. I've just got my mother-in-law under a curtain down there. That's what I've got. It's actually it's a big pile of clothes. How professional.
Yeah, well, you know, this isn't a set at all, is it? There's not like a pile of dirty laundry just here. Your children gagged over here.
Completely, but yeah. So if you could just sort of look this way at the guitars and think this guy's professional, that would be fantastic.
Always professional. So being professional that you are, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
My name is Glen Roughead, or if I was on the telly, I might say Rouget. Who knows? But yeah, I'm a singer and I do music comedy as well sometimes. And I just wait for people to say, "Can you sing us a song?" And then I go and sing it, basically.
Fab. So I know you from the wedding world. We've known each day just now, haven't we? And Glen first came onto my radar as an acoustic vocalist actually, and then quickly transitioned into swing music.
I mean, I'll be honest, I can do it all, but let's not be arrogant about this. Do you know what I mean?
And then, but you don't really do, you can do your swing and you can do your acoustic, but what is it you kind of focus on?
I do like the main thing that I'm sort of known for by the 6 people that follow us on Instagram is like loop pedal stuff. If you don't know what that is, where you'll put the first bit of the song in and then you'll loop that and put the drums in. Basically like what Ed Sheeran does, but I've got more toys and I've got a little bit more money. So
yeah, a bit less ginge as well. Just a little bit less ginge though.
Yeah, well, it's the light. You see, you've got the light. You've got the light face in you. I haven't. So yeah.
Yeah, a bit more hair than Ed Sheeran. Right, yeah. So weddings in particular. So why do you like to play weddings?
Weddings. Well, everyone's just always in a good mood, I find, which is nice. And I like the idea that, without sounding like an art student, my music can I always feel like I try and enhance the mood of that moment. So if it's like an aisle piece, it's not about, I don't feel like it's about the singer, it's about the bride's entrance. So it's quite hard to explain it. It's like, if you were singing At Last by Etta James, you wouldn't sing like At Last, because then it's like, oh, everyone's looking at the singer. It would be much more like laid back, because it's about that moment. So the music's trying to just sort of enhance that moment. So later on in the day, when everyone's had a few drinks and the bride and groom or whatever is a bit sick of everyone looking at them, I'll go, ha ha, here's me, da da da. So I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, because there's lots of different kind of opportunities for different levels of performance, I guess.
Yeah, like subtle bits, louder bits, bit of everything really, rather than just being sort of talked over in a pub, which I have done.
Yeah, you did a lot of that at Christmas, right?
I did, yes. Fantastic. I'm not an alcoholic, but yes.
So, for a wedding then, what services do you offer? What stages are you going to cover for a bride and groom one? And you do that as a package, or how do you do it?
Yeah, so I've got a few different packages, but they're just, because I've done weddings for so long, I always say to my couples, this isn't what you can just have, but this is, because obviously most people are getting married for the first time and they've got no idea when they could have music or what. So I do everything from like just the ceremony stuff to throughout the whole day. I'm happy to take you through the whole thing if you want, but it just depends how long you've got.
Yeah, go on.
So for instance, if I was there all day, I would get there. Let's just say you're getting married at 12. I normally get there at like 10, set up in the drinks reception, set up in the aisle. As people are coming into the ceremony, sing some nice songs. As people are coming in, just to create a nice little mood, sing the bride down the aisle. and then a couple of songs during the register, and then a song coming back up. But I always say to people, have more of an upbeat song coming back up, because you don't want people to go like, ladies and gentlemen, the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith, hey, a really sad song. You want like something, like for once in my life, or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I usually
maybe later on in this chat you can play us a few suggestions.
All right, yeah, whatever. Then I usually do a couple of hours during the drinks reception, because I usually find that is a time where bride and groom will go and do photographs, and sort of the guests are sort of left waiting to see the next bit. So that's when I do sort of stuff I'm known for, like upbeat stuff rather. I think 2 hours of sort of sad sort of love songs it brings them, not the mood down, but the energy. So keep that energy going, carry that into the wedding breakfast or meal. Most blokes go, what's a wedding breakfast? I only found that out about 2 years ago. But the meal.
First meal as man and wife, wedding breakfast.
Yeah, first meal. And then that's when I normally do some swing stuff, as it sort of fills the room a little bit more. And then on the evening, I do a little bit, an hour as guests are coming in, rather than people coming in to like, a DJ playing what DJs like to play. And then end up doing the first dance. If my band's there, we'll do a couple of hour sets. Then when you go back to the honeymoon suite, I'll pop out the wardrobe and go, depends what you want. If you want us just to come and sing one song, I'll come and sing one song. I've done 2 funerals as well, so.
All right, that's a lovely note to to finish on. Back to weddings though, yeah?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, Glenn, how did you get into music?
I never wanted a real job. I don't like being told what to do. Unless you hire us, and I'll do what you want. I don't know. I just think I just showed off when I was a kid, basically.
Did you have music lessons though? Obviously, you've had a music lesson, or you're self-taught.
No, my dad did play guitar, and he taught us like a few chords, and then after that, I was just off. I don't know. I think just anything was just made people look at us. To be told.
Yeah, so you didn't actually have guitar lessons.
I've had a few. I'm not like, but I wish I'd had them now, because I would have. Like when someone learns the guitar, like they don't want to go. Like a music teacher might go like, right, learn this, and it's like boring. No one like. You're not going to get any attention. You need to be like.
Yeah.
Like no.
How old are you? Sorry, personal question.
34.
Yeah, so 34, so I'm just a few years older than you, but definitely like the Oasis tracks were the ways of getting the attention from the girls back in the day, right?
Well, if you go to a house party and play like nice bit of classical, no one's going to be bothered to go, can you play Wonderwall? And then you go, yeah.
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 Everyone likes a bit of Wonderwall.
Well, you've got to, haven't you?
So from like showing off, and I guess you're still showing off, but how did you make it a career? Like, how did you progress how did you book your first weddings? How did you get your first gigs?
So I used to play in a band, and we were signed to Sony, travelled all over playing, long story short.
All right, what was your band called? I don't know this.
The band's called the Soundex, and we did a small, we did a first album on like a small independent. Then we got signed to Sony, and we went to the same studio as Oasis, recorded Definitely Maybe, and basically some of the greatest albums ever. It's on iTunes. It's called Palomino. You should have a listen. And
wow, yeah, we will.
Yeah, toured the country and toured everywhere. And hey, we had a 2-page spread in Kerrang magazine. Remember that? And then me and my wife went for a meal, and someone was playing the guitar in the restaurant, and I was like, I'm better than this. And so then I just recorded some songs at home, and then went back to that restaurant and gave them a CD, and then you like listen to it and was like, oh, this is amazing, can you come in? And I got like 70 quid, and I was like, I remember coming in, like slapping it down on the table and being like, 70 quid. And I was like,
we're rich beyond my wildest dreams.
And I was like, this is amazing, like, for doing this. So I just did I mean, ironically, when the restaurant that I played in, when you walked in, you had to climb up a set of ladders and you sat above the door. So like every 3 days a week, I used to have to climb up a ladder with a speaker. But but yeah, and then I just sort of kept going and kept doing it. Then when I started doing my swing stuff, my first ever gig, I thought, well, I love this music. I need to do a gig to see just what it was all about. And someone put a tweet out saying, looking for a singer to come and do this. So it was like down in Manchester. I went and did it for free just to like see if I enjoyed it, if I, remembered all the words type thing. And then there was someone there saying, can you come and play this gig? But we can't tell you who it's for. And it ended up that it was like Wayne and Colleen Rooney. That was like my second ever gig doing that. And then I was like, oh, this is good. Like,
I wondered how long it would be before you dropped a name.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we are 20 minutes in.
I thought it was funny because it was my second gig. Do you know what I mean?
It's good. But what I think about, like, I joke about the name dropping because of all the people I know, you don't need to drop names because you're amazing at what you do. But what you're also really good at is you're really, really reliable. So I book you for loads of my wedding shows. No, but you are. So I book you for loads and loads of my wedding shows. I wouldn't have an issue recommending you to a wedding couple or a friend. And I think this is how you build business because, like, for example, for our Zoom call today, you're the one person who I haven't kind of double checked with that you're going to be here on time, because I know if I say to Glenn, okay, I'll see you at 2 on Zoom.
I've got nothing else on.
Yeah, he's always available. But you are always there and you're always on time and ready to go. And, that's really important with someone that you're booking for a really special day, that these artists, they can be reliable.
Well, thank you for saying that as well, because I hate being rushed and I hate being stressed. Like, I'd rather be there like 4 hours early and just sit there.
You have been known to sleep at the venue in your van the night before.
But let's just clarify this. This isn't just like a rock and roll bed with a mattress on top of some amps. This is a converted van. It's a van conversion, right? With a cooker and a toilet and everything in, and power and everything.
I'd say it's like nearly.
We'll say it next. It's going back into the thing to get the hob and everything else put in. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So right.
You're making it sound like Alan Partridge.
Well, you said it. So let's go. Let's have a bit of music, okay?
All right.
Just for fun, for my own personal my own personal entertainment. Right. So let's give some examples for brides and grooms, brides and brides who might have you at their wedding.
Right.
So what? Suggest a song then for a little bit. You don't have to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So a little bit of like Down the Aisle.
A little bit of Down the Aisle.
Entrance of the Bride. So obviously you haven't got all your loop stuff set up right now, so we're going to just do acoustic.
What is weird is whenever people ask me for songs, I try not... I always put this disclaimer at the start of it, that I'm not a fan of giving people... I need a drink, hang on. Like if I say to you, the Smiths, you might go, I hate the Smiths. And then instantly you're like thinking, this guy isn't like on my wavelength. But obviously I've just met you. I can do a bit of Sherlocking and think, what t-shirt you got on? Oh, you wear an Arctic Monkeys t-shirt. Oh, I would, you might have a pretty green jacket on. And I'd say, oh, well, Oasis, I like that. And they'll go, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? It's just general sort of. I quite like Cordeline, the one.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that you want me, and I'll be yours completely. Better off.
I'll do a bit of this.
I know we have our disagreements, we're fighting for no reason. I wouldn't change it for the world. You make my heart feel like it's summer when the rain is pouring down. You make my whole world feel so right when it's wrong. That's why I know you are the one.
Oh, that's gorgeous, Glenn. Lush. You can just imagine, so straight away, like, you're kind of transported. In my head, I'm kind of straight away transported, like, to the ceremony, to, like, walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
What
like,
about when...
Okay, it's like, you know, like yellow diamond in the light. Now we're standing side by side. Found love in a hopeless place.
Yeah, it's a bit more contemporary.
Yeah, something a bit more like, because it's not really about, I feel like David Brent sitting like this. Pretty girl on the hood of a Cadillac, yeah. Feel love. It's not really about me. It's about, you know, plus when you've got like live music or someone who understands like the room, if you get to the end of the aisle and you're in the middle of a chorus, if someone's pressing a CD, it's just going to go like, and it's like, oh, it makes, even me doing that now makes me feel really awkward. You want someone to do like,
yeah. So Rachel, my colleague, you know, Rachel, she got married last May, actually, almost a year coming at in Derbyshire, and she had piano actually for her entrance. Why on earth you weren't there, Glenn? I do not know. We'll have to.
Yeah, she didn't have me. So
Rachel, if you're watching, what the hell?
Sorry.
Yeah, she's not forgiven. But she had like an acoustic piano version of Coldplay, the Superheroes one. Something just like this. Someone just like this.
Right. Something I've heard.
And that was amazing. You know, like, I can't sing, so
you know, like, now you've
you know, like the song that's like, been reading books of old, the legends and the myths.
Oh right, yeah.
She had that like a piano version, and honestly, it was lovely because it was done really softly.
Yeah.
And it made, I was crying my eyes out. I think me and Andy, her husband, to be the only people crying in the room. I was just sobbing. Alan actually, my husband turned to me and said, "What is wrong with you?"
Well, I take 100 milligrams of sertraline, so I don't cry anymore. I used to be like,
just sobbing at the wedding.
I've got no emotions.
But that's gorgeous, like really soft, lovely entrance. And I think something a bit contemporary does work really well. And I'm quite a traditionalist, so I really like that. So what about when they've, like you said earlier, when they've finished said the vows, they're walking back down the aisle, what are we going to go for? What's today's ceremony going to be?
I don't know, it's really hard because that's when I usually do like loop pedal stuff.
So you can check out, at the end of this film, we'll put a link to your...
A link to my new video that I did. You know, like, Line in Miami, the hours out like summer rain, so dripping off me, before I even knew her name. Like that sort of thing, that's a bit more like, I can't really do any like, I usually do like a lot of Craig David stuff and
no, but like for when they walk down the aisle, for when they walk down.
Walking back up.
Yeah, not just for your drinks, for like
Usually, the song that I always suggest, I don't mean this actual song. I mean like this type of song. You know, Al Green, I'm so in love with you, because it's like got the horns. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. It's a bit more bouncy. You know, whatever you want to do, just more.
Yeah,
fun, basically.
That's lush.
And
I like
in my life.
Yeah, that's good.
Who needs me. I like that.
So this is where your swing comes in.
Yeah, or you can do swing stuff.
I still love a bit of swing, I'll be honest. So I like Beyonce, Love on Top.
Yeah, the only thing about that is it's really repetitive.
That's true. Maybe you can mix it in.
And
you can loop it in.
Yeah, and you'd have to do like, it's just Beyonce, as fantastic as she is, showing her vocal range.
Yeah.
It gets to about the 5th octave. Baby, it's you. You're the one I love. And
but you know what I mean? You're still doing this. So it's that vibe, isn't it? It's that vibe. It's that like.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
I like that vibe.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay. So, first dance. So I have a forum at the moment. Not at the moment. We have a Brides Up North forum, and in there we've been sort of sharing some ideas about first dances and what people are wanting, and people can't come up with them because they're worried it's too fast or too slow or whatever. So what would be your advice for couples trying to find a first dance song?
Get a bottle of wine get a laptop, go on Spotify or YouTube and pick the first song that you like and then go from there. And don't pick a song for anyone else. I had Champagne Supernova for my wedding and it's like 8 minutes long, but it's your day. It's your time. If people who are there because they love you, they'll dance to the Birdie song if that's what you want. So pick a song and, if there's a really slow song and you want it to be more upbeat, you could get your musician to maybe do an arrangement. One really good song which is totally, totally underrated. Have you heard Good Night by John Legend?
No, but let's hear it.
Well, I can't. It's better when you play it with like all the loops and stuff. But it's like.
I have heard it because I've listened to your kitchen sessions the other day. But
just because there's a really good line in the chorus, it's something like, "I had no intention I would get loved up tonight. I looked in your eyes and they went through me like a knife. Came here with my cool, I lost it." I get the chorus. "Everything's gonna be alright. I think I just met my wife. I know it's gonna be a good night. I think I just met my wife." So it's like a lot more upbeat.
Yeah, and very relevant.
Very, very relevant, but not in a smushy sort of way. Sometimes people worry that they're going to have to like smush for like 3.5 minutes. But a good singer will always ask the couple, if they're doing it live, when you want people to come on the floor, or give me the nod, or I'll do it after the first verse and the first chorus. Because often, like, there's always one person in the group that doesn't want to do the first dance, do they?
Yeah, I do think that if you can bear it, it is worth having that moment and having a bit of first dancing on your own.
I did a wedding where they weren't going to have a first dance, and the wedding was amazing. The couple were amazing. So they were like clued up like the day before. I think they had like a Hindu wedding. It was just crazy. Then they turned the venue around. They had like fairy lights, and it was just amazing. But they weren't going to have a first dance till about 10 minutes before, and I was like, look, if you don't have one, you might regret it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You do it, and then you go, oh, I didn't really enjoy doing that. But if you don't do it, you won't know. And it was like one of the best bits, because I've used it for one of my promo videos. Everyone runs and like dives on them, and they were like, oh, thank you so much for talking us into it. So we just
and it's just a nice moment just to have, because I think it's good to have I like the ones that kind of start off sort of slow and they have maybe a verse and a chorus or whatever, and then everyone sort of jumps on. I think those are the best bits, because then you have like your lovey-dovey bit, which is quite important. Like, it's your wedding day,
exactly.
And then you've got like the crowd participation bit, because it just gets a bit awkward after a while, doesn't it? Of sort of school disco swaying.
Yeah. Well, I had Champagne Supernova for 8 minutes, so I didn't care. I wasn't bothered.
Did you do the full? Yeah, but you like people looking at you. But did you do the whole thing?
Yeah. No, we didn't say you will stand for 8 minits and watch.
Yeah, but everyone was like, "Oh God,
if they wanted to, they could have. It wouldn't bother me. At the end of the day, it's so weird. People, I think a lot of people run to the trap of planning their wedding for other people. Don't plan it for other people, because then, like, I call it the bride factor. If they're there, if she or whatever is there the whole day, everyone else will be on it. But if they're outside, not participating, on the phone, gone back to the room, people will just sit down and just relax. Like, people.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So I think just do what you like, pick the music you like. Don't pick songs that you think, oh, well, that person will like that. Because then if they don't get up dancing, you're stuck with a song you don't like, and you're annoyed that person hasn't got up and danced.
Yeah. We had a bit of an issue that I had ideas for certain first dance songs, and my husband Alan wasn't keen.
Right.
So we had to come to like so my first dance ideas were still incredible. I still like go walking, running, and listen to these songs. So I had Train Drops of Jupiter, which is an awesome song. Bon Jovi, Always,
Right.
which he was less keen on. And we ended up going for Moondance by Van Morrison.
Nice.
It was really the Michael Bublé version, but Alan didn't know that. But we really, so our song, you know how you might have a song.
Yeah.
Because we met in the 90s. So our song was Mambo Number 5 by Lou Bega, which is, I know it's nuts.
The greatest first dance song in history. I hope you had that.
I wish we'd had that.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it meant something to us. And our friends knew about it. It was funny moment, all that sort of stuff. So I do think, like, you need to kind of pick it based on.
I will have to jump in and say to anyone listening, maybe if you could put like a sort of public warning under this. Please don't feel like you have to learn a dance for your first dance. If you want to, and you are into it, and you believe in it 100%, do it, and it'll be amazing. If you're not into it, and you're doing it because you think everyone else will like it, they probably won't like it. So don't do it.
Yeah, I've seen it done really well, actually.
Yeah, which is fine. Like,
yeah.
Amazing, do what you want. But if you believe in it, then other people will believe in it. It's like, that's why when I sing songs, unless it's an aisle piece, I always have the idea of, if I was stood in this room on my own now singing this song, would I still enjoy it? So if I don't just put songs in the set and go, oh, you know, I'll do Mambo Number 5 because I think everyone else will enjoy it. Because then if they don't, I'm stuck playing a song. Then they go,
I would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But you can't come to all my ones. But so, like, yeah, I always pick songs that I love, and I think it shows because I'm enjoying it, and hopefully it makes other people enjoy it.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. It's like a bit of an energy, isn't it? Well, it's total energy.
You can tell when someone's not into it and they're going, it's a marvellous night for a moon dance. Like, you'll go through the motions. Like, every wedding you ever do, you could do 10 in a week. Everyone has to be, you know, as much effort. It has to be like the first wedding you've ever played. Because then, or else,
yeah. Absolutely. So, going for that then. So I know this is such a horrible, hard question, but what's your favourite song to play? What's your favourite song of all time? Not to play, just your favourite song of all time.
Well, it was weird actually, because I was watching Frank Sinatra while I was just doing stuff. I was going to say tidy, you know, but look at all these clothes. I don't know what the song that. It's just such. My most played album, probably of all time, might surprise you, is the first ever Streets album.
Oh, right. No, not really, because you definitely bring a bit of rap to your stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
Or is it rap, like spoken word? It's more spoken word, isn't it?
I'm more of a Geordie poet, to be honest. Like, let's not brand me as rap, because I am probably the whitest rapper that ever lived. But I don't know. You know what it is? It sounds really cringe, but you get to the point where if other people are enjoying something, like probably my least favourite song, can I answer that?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, actually.
Probably Mustang Sally.
Oh, right. Quite like that one.
But if someone is going to dance to it and they're like loving their life, it doesn't bother us because I'm there for them. So like, it's weird to say in that moment, it's my favourite song because everyone's loving it. I wouldn't get in the car. Yeah. Actually, no, Mustang Sally. Quite like that.
Yeah, put that on. But you know,
by the way, at the end of this video, can you play that as I'm leaving Mustang Sally?
Yeah, play you out. I'm not sure that my technical abilities stretch to that. Or that it's available for free on iMovie, so perhaps not. But with what's really weird was the other day I was doing a Zoom quiz as you do at home, and there was a question about a Bond soundtrack and who hadn't recorded a Bond soundtrack or who had or something like that. I don't know. But one of the options was Tom Jones.
Yeah.
And I said, because I'd had a few drinks.
Did he not do Thunderball?
Huh?
Did he not do Thunderball?
I think he did do one.
But by the way, Bond is one of my specialist subjects.
Right. Well, you would have been handy in this question. We got it wrong. I think we picked someone else for something. I don't know what we picked. But anyway, Tom Jones was one of your four answers, possible answers. And I had quite a bit of Prosecco on Friday. So I was feeling quite merry, and I was like, everyone else wasn't really drinking. That's my vibe.
So you were that. See, we've stopped doing our quizzes because I haven't drank for 3 weeks, and everyone else is like, what's going on? And I'm like,
oh. No, I get very enthusiastic when I've had a few drinks, very focused on the quiz. So I was like, oh, Tom Jones, what great songs he has, you know, like blah, blah, blah. And all my friends were like, no, Jules, like absolutely, are you joking? Absolutely not. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, like Sex Bomb and you know, like Black Betty, Bam Blunt, and all this sort of stuff. But it was because my mood was like up here through the roof because I felt like I was on a night out. And it's the same with your Mustang Sally, that when you said Mustang Sally, I thought, oh no, that's a great song, because the only time I ever hear that song is after like 10 glasses of wine at a wedding or a party on the dance floor, when I'm absolutely loving Mustang Sally.
But you see, because I'm a musician, like music can change my mood like instantly. So if I'm at a party and like, which is incredibly rare, if a song comes on that I don't like, it like instantly annoys. If I'm there for someone else, I'll jump, but I'm not the type of person to be like jumping up and down to The Killers and Sex on Fire. That's like not me at all. Like,
yeah. Depends how much I've had to train. I get that when I go out running. If a song comes on, it won't have changed tempo. If a song comes on I just don't like, I can't listen to someone else's playlist, because if a song comes on I don't like, I'm just instantly like, oh, I can't run to this. Like slowing down and changing it because it's not Usher or Kanye mainly.
A little bit of Usher.
A little bit of Usher. So, okay, what's your proudest moment in your career? Not to do with personal stuff.
Musically?
Yeah.
I've got the chance to play Newcastle Arena, which was like 2 sold out shows in a day, which was pretty good.
And what was that for? What was that
So it was for Sunday for Sammy, but me and my pa would do music and comedy, and we got to do like a little 6-minute comedy song, which in front of like 20,000 people and having them all laughing is quite a buzz. You know what I probably would say, because deep down I feel like I've never reached the highs that I set myself out, but probably I would say the fact that I just do it for a living. Because so many people go like, so what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a musician. What, and you make money out of it? And I'm like, yeah, because I work really hard. So probably just the fact that I do music as my living is probably my proudest thing.
You do work really hard as well. Like, people sometimes say about my blogs and websites and things, it's the same with your job. They expect that it falls into your lap, this sort of career, but it's the hard work that gets you where it goes. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the keeping on. We were just talking off camera about a bit of this, and it's particularly at the moment when all your weddings and things and stuff's moved back and you're kind of twiddling your thumbs. It's you've got to keep going and keep plugging, haven't you?
Plus if you run like yourself, if you run your own business, you've got to love what you do, because I always say when the hits the fan, like if I'm doing a business that I don't like, there's no way I'm going to come in this office and go, all right, I'm gonna sew some clothes, make some clothes.
You just don't know what to say because you can't think of anything else, can you?
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not on your worst day. I mean, when we record our album, we did a month of like isolation in Cornwall on an island. You can only get there when the tide comes in and out, so you have to get on a boat, and it's like proper isolation. And then on the last day, we did a full day of mixing. Then we drove and done a gig to get the petrol money, and then drove all the way home from Cornwall in like a really old van, not a posh converted one like mine. And we were up for like, it was like 29 hours. Like we were just awake just to get home. And people, whenever we did tours, would stay in a hotel every 4th night, and we were playing like 2,000 capacity like things. But I seen a thing that Roy Chubby Brown said the other day, weirdly, the people who make it are the people who are still working. If you think about all the people who've like been on X Factor or whatever, you hardly hear any, apart from your big ones, you hardly hear of them because they're not.
They're driven by something else. So they're not driven by the experience of the journey. They're driven by like the end goal of fame and fortune, which is really fleeting and doesn't mean anything at all.
Well, I don't know whether you've seen that Justin Bieber series on YouTube. He's like, he was famous when he was 8, when he was about 13. He had girls climbing down his chimney to get to him. Like, what other 18-year-old kid wouldn't want that? And now he's just he's all right now, but he's just had an absolute meltdown because he's probably never carried, and this is not me getting at Justin, because I actually really like.
No, I like a bit of Biebs. I like a bit of the Biebs.
He's probably never really carried an amp into a gig. He's never had to change a wire mid-song. So, and like, you get used to anything, don't you? Like if you play arenas every night, you're going to get bored of it. That's why most singers, celebrities, are just like on meltdowns, really.
Yeah, because they've kind of hit the top and there's nowhere else to go, and then it's all just a bit boring.
It's just boring because it just becomes the norm.
Yeah, I think that, you know, obviously we're filming this at the minute in lockdown because this is gonna be on after this, hopefully, forever out of it. And for me, like, this lockdown thing obviously has been, for a start, it's awful for people, you know, like getting it, being sick, families who are losing people, all that sort of stuff like that aside, and all that worry, the kids being out of school and things. But like from a personal level, it's been kind of good for me to kind of have a sit back and reassess like what we want to do with our business, the things we enjoy, the things we don't enjoy, be a bit grateful for the things we thought we didn't enjoy but actually we loved and we were just getting a bit tired of, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, it's ironic. So what a girl who follows us, who's a singer somewhere else, she put a post on saying, I miss my weddings. I will never complain about singing Perfect by Ed Sheeran ever again. And it's like, even though I love that song and I love singing it, I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, there is certain songs like, can someone just pay us to sing Mustang, Sally, please?
What are your like, so at a wedding, so I don't know, I kind of want some favourites and some not favourites because I think it's quite funny, quite enjoy it.
Right, okay,
I guess you don't really like the Ed Sheerans much.
No, I do.
Do you? I don't like Ed Sheeran. Ooh, said it. There you go. Not keen.
I think because he's like the nicest man in the world, that helps. And yeah, I like his tunes. And again, they make people happy, which is fine for me. I don't think I sit in the house and play them. So I don't really have any no favourites because I'm lucky / selfish enough that I just don't play songs that I don't like. Plus, because I'm doing loop pedal stuff, I think people can see that what I'm doing is no one else does it. So like, if I'm booked for an event and people say, can you recommend someone like you? I don't want to be arrogant, but what I do is so specific to me because they're just songs that I like. So even if you found someone who can play the guitar, who does all the loop pedal stuff, who's got all the gear, who's got everything, who can do this, do that, they're still not going to do what I do because they might not like Gangsta's Paradise, but I do, and I'll sing it at a wedding and people go, Gangsters, I haven't heard that, or like, so it's like, I always have to explain to people and just go, well, no, like, I don't know anyone who does what I do, because it's just, I've just made it up. Like,
let's have a bit of Gangsta's Paradise, just acoustic.
I don't know how to play it anymore. How do I even play it?
I think I know all the words to Gangsta's Paradise from start to finish.
Been spending most of our lives living in the Gangsta's Paradise. Been spending most of our lives living in the Gangsta's Paradise. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. He be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking or where you're walking. You and your homies, and your Mustang Sally. Mustang Sally, Mustang Sally. You know, like that sort of thing.
Love it. So, okay. Tell us a little bit about your Cash for Kids thing that you do.
Cash for Kids is a gig that we do every year, which started at Newcastle City Hall. And basically it's a it's a comedy show. My pal started it, Jason. We do a thing called the Roughead and Cook Show. And it's £5 to get in, but you have to bring a present or as many presents as you want for all the kids in the Northeast who wake up on Christmas Day and don't have a present. So, and we always have loads of our friends who are comedians. We have the band, we do music comedy songs. We've had Sarah Milligan on. We've had loads of great people, Chris Ramsey, loads of big names. And yeah, we just raise money and presents for kids of the Northeast who haven't got presents.
Do you do that? Do you raise the money all year round, or is it just on that show?
Just on that show, yeah.
I'll drop a link to that as well.
Yeah, it is. So last year, we now do 2 shows and it sold out, I think, the next day, both the shows.
Wow.
I'm on 2021. I'll tell you the date, June. December the 13th.
So is that sold out now, that one?
I think so. There'll probably a few tickets left for we do like an afternoon matinee show.
Cool. Well, I'll find the link and I'll drop it on. So if brides and grooms, wedding couples want to get in touch with you or see or hear more, how can they do that?
Instagram, Glen or Music. Twitter, @Glen Roughead. GlenRoughhead.com. Facebook /Glen R Swing. It all should be one thing, but I think if you change your Facebook thing, it's just annoying. Send a carrier pigeon, smoke signal. Come to a fantastic Brides Up North wedding show, the only show you should attend.
For sure.
And
for all your wedding needs. Hopefully restarting in the early autumn.
Yeah, I'll just shout really loud and I might hear you.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll drop all those links in for you.
Perfect.
Do check out Glen's new videos that he's been doing. He's been doing some looping from his back garden. He's also been doing some amazing kitchen sessions every Saturday night from his kitchen live, which I think he's finished for the time being.
Is this peer pressure to do another one?
Yeah. Come on.
I've got a 3.5-year-old and a pregnant wife who's about to give birth in the next 3 weeks. Wow. So and when she has a kitchen taken over by my loop pedals and microphones and amps and speakers. And she, bless her, she normally sits with the laptop logged into it so she can see any questions or inquiries. And bless her, like by the time she gets up, her back's breaking.
Yeah, Jazz is definitely like the brains behind the operation.
Oh yeah, she's also, so for me lockdown looping series I've been doing. I've been like filming them and editing them and stuff. But she obviously films them, but like loads of people have been online, which is going, oh, I love the way you film this. I'm like, yes, you're welcome.
A new career for Jazz in videography, perhaps. Okay, cool. Well, they're finished for now, but next time Glen does one of them, I'd really urge everyone to hop on it because we had so much fun. We've loved that in our house. And then come and book Glen for your wedding. Go and see him live.
Thank you so much for having me. And also, when you said that, how did you get into weddings? Genuinely mean this, soppy as out. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I would be. So thank you very much for all your help and support. I do really.
No, it's all right. We're a good team, aren't we? So I'm going to make you play us out. What are you going to play us?
Oh, what am I going to play?
Something good.
All right, hang on then.
Are you getting your words? I'm
just getting some words up there. Hang on. You can just edit this to make it look quick. One, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boys say I'm watching something, cause I really don't want. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, I'm getting to the chorus.
You know it's getting sweeter.
In my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's all I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me
your man. Way, Glen, awesome. Thank you so much. Over and out.
Bye.